Greetings! Wait, I'm on the wrong screen. Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week, the artist is Paramore. We are in October. It's my favorite time of the year. It's spooky season. And this is Bill's pick, and he chose Paramore, and I guess that spooked me all right.
You spooked me so much I spilled my drink.
Speaking of, with me, the guy who has gotten That's What You Get stuck in my head for the last week, Bill.
Yep, that's me. Hey. Ignorance is bliss, babe.
That's a fucking face-to-face album. And our special guest for the first time on the show, welcome, Sam.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Let's talk about this album, Brand New Eyes.
He is a die-hard Paramore fan. That's why we got him on the show.
And I get drunk.
You're not even drinking, you fucker. What is that? Water?
Stay hydrated, mis amigos.
Is that a vodka? What was that?
Vodka.
Ain't no way you just took it. We'll get back. We're going to revisit that later on. So we're talking Brand New Eyes. This is our current rankings. No surprise. We all line up.
Well, will it stay the same?
Well, will it stay the same? So we're talking.
I don't think it will.
I guess I'll go first on this one. All right, Brand New Eyes. Taylor York is finally credited with being in the band. He's been kind of co-writing some shit in the background for a while, and now he's actually officially part of the band. I think that helped him. The guitars are a lot more fuller on this one than the previous two. Plus, you got Rob C. producing. Y'all know who Rob Cavallo is? Rob Cavallo is like the Green Day producer. He produced Dookie. He's produced American Idiot. He produced 21st Century. No, he didn't do 21st. That was Butch. I think he did Saviors. Like he's been with Green Day since Dookie, pretty much. So they're throwing some money behind this one. This is also their second album after, or their first album after their kind of breakthrough with Riot. Opening track, Careful. Haley sounds 100% better already on this opening. She's starting to get some dynamics and some range on her vocals. Much appreciated. It was okay. It's probably their best opener so far. Ignorance, I kind of liked it as well. Haley added a little bit of sneer on the ignorance is your new best friend line. That was kind of cool. Playing God was meh. It had some interesting tempo changes, but all the tempos that it changed to was just kind of meh. Brick by Boring Brick, it was okay until the ba-da-da-da-ba part. That was dumb. Turn It Off, I'm just not a fan of Christian pop rock. It's a personal thing. It's not my thing. The only exception, I've heard this song somewhere, and I'm not sure where. First World Problems, am I right? Feeling Sorry wasn't too bad. It was okay. Looking Up sounded like a rejected All-American Rejects song. You guys remember that band?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Lines Overlap, the little drum rolls in it were kind of cute. But it's all just sounds like that 2000 starting line, All-American Reject, Good Charlotte crap. Like it was very generic and I'll say of its time. Misguided Ghost, that should have been the closing track.
Agreed.
It was a very serviceable acoustic song. And I'll mention this later, but I think especially Haley really shines on the slower acoustic ballad type songs.
Especially at this point in her career, absolutely.
Yeah, like that should have been the closing track. All I Wanted, horrible album placement. Having a soft intro song right after it, Misguided Ghost, is weird. It was okay. It kind of reminded me of Ruka Salt, just without the amazing dual vocals of Nina and Louise. Misguided should have been the closer, but I won't lie, I was singing along to the All I Wanted Was You line by the end of it, so it was okay. Yeah, that was my thoughts on Brand New Eyes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna follow up here, and I'll say so. This is the last album with Josh Farro and the Farro brothers. Josh exited the band, and Jason alluded to it earlier. I know we've kind of joked at some times about industry plants.
Oh, I ain't joking
Josh's
about this one.
Josh's closing statement was, "Yeah, Haley is an industry plant. Like this is Haley Williams' band, and that's that. Like there really is no Paramore. This is a straight up industry plant."
What's the word of the day? Nepotism.
Good screaming, everybody.
Y'all probably too young for Pee Wee's Playhouse, but
Just a little bit.
I'm bringing Pee Wee's Playhouse back. Rest in peace, Paul Rubin.
That being said, you can really, for me, this album felt a lot more mature than the last couple. Just, we're going past teenage angst a little bit and going to like actual, like, oh shit, like this is what adult life is like. Okay. To an extent. Like, we're talking like 19s, early 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely agree on the slower songs. I mean, Ignorance, I think, was the big single released off of this album. The only exception was another single, which it did decent, I think. Personally, it's up there for one of my favorite singles that they actually do.
What, Ignorance?
No, the only exception. Ignorance is actually up there too.
My notes say I've heard this one somewhere, so I may have like just osmosis it somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, learning through osmosis is a thing. Ozzy knew what he was doing, damn it. Anyways, I definitely just say again agree with you on the whole Misguided Ghosts would have been a better closing track. Anyone who's followed this show knows I'm all about the opening and closing tracks and how it flows to the album.
Wait till we get to Alkaline Trio. You want to talk about good openings and good closings?
I mean, the art of an album, I've mentioned it before, I won't beat a dead horse here. Like, the art of an album has fallen to the wayside in the art of the streaming age. Because it doesn't matter what you start it with. It doesn't matter what you end it with. Because they're just going to jump to track 5. And that's what they're going to listen to. And they're not going to listen to anything else on your album whatsoever.
Yeah, and we're real big on this show about albums and how they are crafted and put together, the concept, the album art, all of it together is a package of what you are presenting. It's a lost media, and every day that goes by it gets even more muddled with singles and
Well, because we're getting further and further into the age where, like, I mean, I don't want to see it, but how long before music artists straight up just stop releasing albums?
I mean, Weird Al did.
Songs?
Weird Al released another single recently in the last couple days.
And that's, again, it's another person like, hey, I mean, Weird Al has been great. Like, he's got a formula for every album that he does, but they're all good albums. Like, I can't wait till we actually do Weird Al on the show.
Stick around, subscribe. In April, we're doing Weird Al.
Oh,
it's gonna be a blast.
We absolutely are. But like, so circling back here to Paramore, which is who we're actually talking about. Like, for me, I felt this album again had more growth for them as a band.
This is where I thought they grew a lot.
Yeah. Agreed. I was gonna say the same thing.
Did it have their biggest songs? No. But their worst song on this album, I felt was better than their average song on, especially like their first album. At least that was my opinion. Like for me, I'd say my deep cut pick for a song I liked on here was actually "Playing God." I actually kind of like that one.
I didn't like
Uh,
that one.
it's okay, Jason. We all
We
make
we no, you and I never agree on what's good.
no, no, but that's okay because that is art and music. You're not supposed to agree with everyone. We're supposed to all have our own opinions
Yeah,
and make statements based on that. Like
no matter
it's gonna
how
make all
wrong
the
you are and how right I am, we're always going to disagree. It's okay.
yeah. I forgive you, Jason. Don't worry.
Well, at least we agreed that Misguided Ghost should have been the closer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and the thing is, there's usually something we always would agree on. I will say I didn't actually get a chance to listen to Decode bonus track for this one.
I didn't either.
Bro,
I
Well-
listened to Singles Club, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And yeah, I felt this was actually a very decent to good album by them.
I didn't. I don't want to say anymore. I don't want to say nothing else till we rank them. What about you, Sam? What did you think of Brand New Eyes?
well, obviously it was written following an in-band breakup, but even with the success of Right, it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Top 200.
That's their sophomore or their first after their breakthrough.
Yeah, so obviously more eyes were on them, more, how they gonna follow it up. Now they're kind
It's
of
their in utero.
Yeah.
one of the greatest albums of all time, right there. Love that. Love Nirvana in Utero. One of the, probably the best album they did. But overall, like,
Better than Nevermind?
but anyway, we're doing with Paramore, not Nirvana.
Yes.
But this album, you could tell as the album went on, it kind of gave them more and more confidence. Like, hey, we're a good band. We know what we're doing. Haley's getting better vocals as she grows up, as she matures more. As you get older, the voice changes, and her voice gets better from the previous 2 albums. So, and as it gave them more confidence, we're like, hey, we're good. We can do more songs, and we can go on tour more, and just escalated from there. So I'm happy it gave them more confidence as a band going forward, following in-band breakups, following people leaving and joining the band.
I'm curious why, because that Taylor guy's been around for the last couple albums, but like, this is the one where the brother left, and the other guy got the writing credit. And I think going forward, I think he's with him still, right? The Taylor guy.
Yeah. So Taylor's always been there in the background.
Yeah, he's always been there, but this is the first time that he's like credited as a member of Paramore.
He's actually credited with guitars. I mean, you still have Josh and Zach playing guitar and drums. It's just Taylor is listed as an additional guitarist for this album.
Which we'll get to the self-titled.
Yes.
Which
That's
is
next
interesting.
episode, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think the lyrical content, I think Haley's getting better, more comfortable writing lyrics, writing, songs. There's definitely a growth here compared to the last 2, musically and lyrically. So,
I mean, let's call it what I mean. Haley's actually now 21 at this point. Like, she's actually literally getting older. And like, let's say like actually not writing about, oh yeah, this is my teenager angst. It's like, oh yeah, here's my life in my 20s.
which I mean,
Okay.
sometimes that some bands they don't grow lyrically, no matter
No.
how old they get. So
Descendants is still singing about farting
exactly,
and coffee.
exactly. Sometimes maturity is not a good thing. I think in Paramore's case, I think maturity is a good thing.
Agreed.
So we got Singles Club before we get to ranking that one. I didn't listen to this one either.
I listened to it maybe an hour before we started the call.
What'd you think of it?
It was okay. It's like And actually, on Spotify, Monster is not listed on there. Monster is listed as a single below it. It was Renegade, Hello Cold World, and In the Morning.
Yeah, streaming platforms always fuck me up on like I try to I use Wikipedia. I assume that's the most accurate track listing.
These are the 4 tracks that were on Singles Club.
Okay.
I mean, because
streaming fucks you up.
Monster was a single. It was off of Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon, which I know everyone has their opinion about. Personally, I felt like that was actually, for me, that Transformer was one of the better Transformer soundtracks for Michael Bay's collection. I'm not saying it's a good soundtrack. It was one of the better soundtracks.
It's not even a good movie.
It was my favorite Transformers movie, which is a whole different category.
That ain't saying much.
No, it's not.
But it is. That's what I think.
The best Transformers movie was the original movie. I saw that in theaters, and I came home crying, and my mom said, "What happened?" And I said, "They fucking killed Optimus Prime." And she said, "What?" And then she started crying too, because she loved Transformers. Fuck Michael Bay. Sorry. We're not Red Letter Media. We don't know shit about movies, but I know about Transformers.
All I know is what soundtracks I think sound good. Go check out Album of the Decade.
Oh, yeah. If I can put the Lion King up there. We're going to get into Disney soundtracks. Trust me. You and I, maybe we'll find
We're going to agree then disagree on certain things.
If you're watching this video right now and you know Disney soundtracks, we're talking animated classic soundtracks, Lion King, Aladdin, Snow White, Frozen, Robin Hood, those soundtracks, and you want to come on the show as a special guest to help us rank them, we need that. We need another person, because Tim's probably going to bail that week like he bailed for Paramore, little bitch. And we need a third person to help us rank them, because Bill and I do not agree on Disney soundtracks. But
we agree on some of them, because you and I both have the same number 1. I think.
I don't know. Is it fucking Oodalali Oodalali?
Golly, what a day, baby.
Yeah, you damn right. That's number 1.
Every town has its ups and downs, baby. Anyways.
That's for another video.
Yep. So, Sam, are you done talking about this one, or?
Yeah, I'm done. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, for me, Singles Club. So this is 2011. Now we're entering the 2010s. And, 2010s, now we're starting to really get into the streaming age for a lot of stuff. We're getting more into, music's evolving more with a lot of bands. And Paramore is trying to chase trends with this one, I feel like.
On Singles Club or Brand New Eyes?
On Singles Club.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll say Singles Club doesn't sound like it would come after Brand New's Eyes.
It doesn't.
It sounds like, honest. If you flip Singles Club and Summer Tick, it would almost make more sense. Like Singles Club, musically for me, belongs almost as like a pre-debut album EP release. Like musically it's questionable. It's very watered down, overly generic. Monsters may be the most interesting one, but that was designed for a movie soundtrack, so how much, songwriting freedom did they have on that one, and how much was it just, Michael Bay or whatnot trying to influence, like, no, I want you to write this, and potentially, can't believe I'm about to say this, Michael Bay helping correct and make the music better for that sound.
Oh, God. Hashtag fuck Michael Bay.
Explosions, man. Explosions everywhere. Explosions all over the screen. But yeah, it was the songs aren't released anywhere else. That's why I said we had to, be included for a notable release. We've had a lot of very good EPs with included notable releases. This is not one of them.
Okay, that's interesting. This would be the only one that I'd be interested to listen to, because it comes after Brand New Eyes. You would think it would be a.
You would think that's it. Like this one and Summer Tick. If you want to listen to something after Brand New Eyes, I Summer Tick actually sounds more in line with Brand New Eyes.
Okay. This is more of a Atlantic record saying, "Hey guys, you guys got to write some music that sounds like this because things are changing."
Yeah, which the record label doesn't always know what actually people want.
They never know what the people want.
Right.
The best albums in the world, the ones that break through, are the ones people never see coming. The world did not see Nevermind coming.
No.
The world really didn't see Nickelback coming either.
That's true too. That's in some fucked up way, the world didn't see Nickelback coming.
Even though that's one of the largest selling artists of all time.
But the difference between Nickelback and Nirvana was the industry had
Nirvana
no
was a-
control over Nirvana and had no prior knowledge. Whereas Nickelback, they took it and the industry kind of propped them up, put all their money behind it,
Well, because it was
and forced it
cleaner
down people's
lyrically.
throat. Oh yeah, it's 2001, post 9/11. That was the world. All right, so back to Brand New Eyes. We've talked about the Telecommunications Act a lot on this channel.
And that's we could do a whole series on the Telecommunications Act.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much it's messed things up until after doing the show. It's like, oh my god, the Telecommunications Act ruined my childhood.
The same for me. Like I didn't know until Tim explained it and like broke it down in a timeline. Because I stopped listening to the radio probably by 97. Like I was done with the radio. So I missed all the I didn't hate Nickelback. Like everyone hates Nickelback. I didn't hate them. Like they sound like all the other shit bands at the time. But after doing
wait till we
discography-
deep dive some of the other bands. Wait till we. I mean, at some point we'll eventually hammer out all the 2000s bands that were on the radio that I listened to growing up. Whether just because that's what they were.
I'll say this: I hate Creed, and I haven't done all 4 Creed records yet. But what I know of Creed, I hate more than Nickelback.
But that's guess what? That's what
Creed-
was getting played.
Creed could change. Creed could change that opinion. I don't know. All right, well, it's Sam's turn to guess. Where do you think we have Brand New Eyes?
I know it's better than the first one I would say for both of you, because you keep
right
saying that,
You are correct for me as well.
Yep,
because
right
you
for
keep
me.
saying it's kind of like they were good, they got better than best. Like you both said the same thing. There was a lot of maturity in this album, and the maturity was good for both. And it's just, would you have it over Riot? Yes or no?
That is the question.
Part of me says it wasn't that many singles, but musically, if it's more mature, more better, she's better vocal, would you put that over their most well-known album?
I'll give you a hint, Sam. I put trying to think of, Like Clockwork above Sounds of the Deaf.
You and I both had Era
Yeah.
Vulgaris
Era
as number
Vulgaris.
1, which was
Yep.
not their biggest record.
Yep, but I did have Like Clockwork above Sounds, and it was below rated R for me when we did Queens.
I'll say this, for my rankings, for any band, it does not matter how many albums they sold, how many singles were on it. It all comes down to a personal opinion. I don't take any of that into account. I wasn't even listening to the radio. By the time the first album would have been on the radio, I was already not paying attention to the radio. So none of that means anything to me.
For me, nostalgia plays a part, but I usually go with whatever one I like more songs on. I'm going to rank higher.
I do have more nostalgia for Riot, for the singles, because of Rock Band. But other than that...
So we just gave you a bunch of things that probably didn't help you at all, Sam.
Probably not.
Well, mine should give mine away in a heartbeat if anyone is able to put two and two together with my Queen's reference.
I would say Jason has it number 2 because I know he's a big Guitar Hero guy, and he always goes back to that when we're playing Fortnite. He's like, I remember playing this on a Guitar Hero Rock Band. So that's where I'm like,
You're wrong. It's my number 1. I think this is their best record up to this point. I appreciate the maturity. I think is this a perfect record? No. There's some shit on here I hate, but there's some shit on here that I actually liked. And there was 4 songs on Riot that I could get behind. This one had like maybe half of it was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I can get behind it. So it's my number 1.
it is actually, let's see, Bill's taste is all over the place. So that's what's hard for me to pick.
He's
his
Wild Bill.
He is the Wild Bill. I'm just going for limb and say same as you, number 1 album.
That'd be
Right
my
now?
guess.
It is also going to be my number 1 right now, yes.
And then where'd you place it? I know it's better than that.
It's my number 1 as well for the time being.
Still lining up. Okay.
Three more albums, but will it stay the same? Maybe not.
I haven't had to defend anything yet. I figured I'd have to defend some shit.
I'm not going to say I'm going to be in line with a lot of Paramore fans, but I know what I am liking / how I'm ranking. So
Yeah, I have no idea what's the biggest in the Paramore fan base.
I mean, I'm pretty sure in the Paramore fan base, Riot's number 1 overall. Like nothing compares to it for like the diehard Paramore fans.
And I could see that. That's like their.
That's their
Dookie.
American Idiot or Dookie, yeah.
Yeah. Which again, wait till we do Green Day. Dookie's not even a top 3 Green Day record for me.
You're yelling at me in '94. Anyways.
Well, I explained it in '94 too. Why? A top 3 Dookie, not even a top 3 Green Day record is better than a number 1 Offspring record. Stick around for that video. We might do a battle of the record, Offspring Smash versus Green Day's Dookie.
Which is funny because both of us love both bands and albums.
That's true, but some of us ranked it lower and higher. We'll see. Go check that series out. We're doing Album of the Decade 1990s. Eventually we'll get to Album of the Decade the 2000s. We'll see if Paramore shows up on that list.
This could be a lot of MCR.
It will probably be a MCR.
For you, yeah.
Maybe some used.
I got some shit for 90. I got some shit for the 2000s that you ain't even heard of yet.
2000s MCR only had 3 albums, so.
That's only 3 years. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of good shit. Fat Wreck was firing on all cylinders in the 2000s.
I mean, you're right. I mean,
Flatliners came
Dark
out.
Horse got released, yeah.
Nickelback was never on Fat Wreck, though.
I know.
Lagwagon, Strung Out, all the good shit, the real punk shit. And you want some female bands? You got The Last Gang. You got the Bomb Pops, I think, was in the 2000s. You got some good shit.
What do you want to know, Sam? Tell me what you want.
What you really want.
When is Bill going to cover Wesley Willis?
1995. Wesley Willis. Trust me. Up next, we got the self-titled. Paramore. This is usually a self-titled. When you name an album a self-titled, it usually means something. You know? So, let's see if Paramore means anything with their self-titled. Like, subscribe, come hang out with us in Discord. Come hang out with us on Facebook. Share your record collection. Let us know your rankings of Paramore down below. Are we completely off our rocker? Is Riot the best one? Let us know.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
I liked Brand New Eyes. I think that was a pretty, from what I had heard up to this point, it was a pretty solid record.
Just remember, the color code will always tell all.
Stick around to the end. Yep. At the last video, what's their last record called? This Is Why. We'll do our color code.
Which was released last year.
Yeah, which we didn't cover on the show.
Can't imagine why.
Maybe if you would have been here, we would have covered it.
No, we wouldn't have.
Stick around for that. As always, be safe and what, Big Sam?
Make great decisions.
There you go. See, Bill, that's how you do it.
He said great, not good. That's not even the same thing. That's not even
He took it. Yeah, it's better, though. He didn't say questionable.
No.
We're sitting here covering Paramore. I don't know what you want from me.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other has to say.